Hello, hello. We are officially streaming. My audio should be good. And we're here. We're live on a Saturday. We're a little late. It was supposed to be at 7 o'clock, and it's 9:30. But, I said it would be late. What's up, Stuffed Avocado? What's up, Non-Left? What's up, Ubo? It is definitely past my bedtime. But we're going to stay up. The fleet is revealed. The fleet is revealed. It's out there. I got a Kraken. Everybody already knew it. It was so funny. Everybody was like, congrats on the Kraken. And I was like, I can't say anything. Thank you for the CCU video. Of course. That's what I'm here for. What's up, Ristal? What's up, Jeremy? Good to see everybody. Get those questions popping. You can get them popping as early as you want because you're the first ones in, so you can ask as many questions as you want. Just make sure you put question in front of the question. Shout out to the dual streamers. We're giving away a Perseus this month, which is insane. Aerostar Capital. What's up, XM15? What's up, Disarray? Giving away a friggin' Perseus. $675. Question, how's my day going? My day's going wonderful. I do think my daughter got cheated out of her gymnastics medal, but it happens. That's the way the world is. No complaints, just get better. Still got to teach her to recognize when she's being unfairly treated, though. What's up with my screen today? My screen is tripping. There we go. There we go. Make sure we put question in front of our question so I can pull it out of the chat. I have a kid. I have 3 kids. Do I expect they will make any changes to the Perseus? And if so, what? I think the Perseus will grow a little bit. I think the Perseus, I don't know if it'll get upgunned, but I think it'll have more than what it has now. And that's the best I could say. Maybe it's more missiles. I don't know. I don't know what it'll have, but I think it'll just have more than what it has now. And if they don't change anything about it, I just think it'll be a super tough ship. I think it's going to be one of the harder ships to like punch a hole through. At least that's what I'm hoping. Have I finished the Stanton missions yet? No, but I have made significant progress. I have to do the Idris mission. So I did the first 2. I did the ones that require you to do 6. And then I did the other one that required you to do 6. And now I'm on the Idris one. And I guess the 4th one's pretty much done because the people that I run with, they have all the stuff for it. So really I just have to do the Idris mission. I might pop on for a little bit after this and see if I could knock it out, but we'll see. But I did start them, which is progress, because for the last 12 streams, I kept saying I was going to start them, and now I'm halfway done with them. Oh yeah, there's always people still doing it. I'm not too worried about it. I want to do it before the weekend is up. So either tonight or tomorrow I'll hop on and try to get it done. You get I think it's either 2 size 2 or 2 size 3 pyro weapons, which I'm hearing are pretty good. I think one of the guys I was running with had them. I don't remember who it was. What's up, the chosen one? Um, I can't remember who it was. I don't remember if it was 10 or Darsh. I think it was it Darsh? I think it was Darsh. Either way, one of the guys I was running with, they had them and they put them on their F8 and they were doing damage. So, okay, so it is. It's 2 size 2s and 2 size 3s. Yeah. Yeah, they put them on their F8 and they were doing damage. So, you said stage 4, you did it 7 or 8 times and it's not registering? Oh, you said do it 7 or 8 times because sometimes it doesn't register. Yeah, you got to check your history and you have to check that whether it actually shows as complete in your thing. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you get 2 Stanton guns, and that's for the end of chapter 1. And then when Pyro launches, there'll be chapter 2, and at the end of that, you get Pyro guns. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. So it must be the Stanton guns. I didn't know that. I didn't know that we were doing. I thought you got the Pyro guns for the chapter 1. I didn't know it worked that way. Okay, cool. Either way, whatever guns they had, they said they were really cool. They were doing the job. Do you think there will ever be a stealth capital or sub capital, and how would that work? A stealth capital. Yeah, it's like a submarine. Like the same way submarines are kind of stealth capitals. I think it would work exactly how a submarine works. Now, how exactly does a submarine work? I don't know. I wasn't in the Navy. I think the Army has submarines too. I'm not 100% sure. Um, but yeah, I don't know how that works, but I would assume it would do something like a submarine does. But at the same time, we kind of have like you would have to define stealth because in one way, stealth could just be you don't know where I'm at and I could be close to you or I could be far away. Or stealth could just be we can hit you from so far away that it doesn't matter if you know where we're at. So like you can't reach us. Um, but also you don't know where we're at anyway because we're so far away. So it's like technically the Polaris can pull that one off, but at the same time, I think it's going to be more so what parts you put in, and I don't think it would go all the way up to capital. I think it would be I think a sub capital is the biggest we would get because I think they want all the parts to be swappable. Now, not necessarily swappable by a player, but swappable at a shipyard, right? So I think we would get a sub capital stealth ship, and I think it would probably come with like a bunch of torpedoes. Once we get you got the weird thing is we don't have size. We don't have what's up, meat salad. We don't have what's up, MK Porter. I still owe you something. Did you send me all your stuff? I think you won our contest for the skin or something. I don't know if I sent it to you yet. So just make sure you hit me up in the Discord. Um, yeah, I think we'll get a sub capital, and I think that one will be like very low signatures, but it won't be low signatures to where like if I'm right next to you, I won't see you. I just think it'll be like much lower than the average capital or sub capital. So that's what I think it'll be. What's up, San Chimera? Deep Space Stealth. What's up, Full Nelson? Yeah, I think what we're missing, I think we just need deeper component gameplay. That's what I'm noticing. We're missing the deep component gameplay. Like we don't have that yet where everything that I put inside of my ship matters, right? Like it's either going to take up too much power or it won't take up that much power at all or whatever. And I think that's one of the things. Like I started doing component videos not knowing that they were going to drastically change them. I knew they would change. I just didn't know they would drastically change. But the research that I did for those is still relevant because the things that I talked about in that are still relevant. It's just I have to edit it because now there's a different way that they actually do things in the ship. But the research was still helpful. So I'll probably redo those once 4.0 hits and we get a more consistent engineering thing. But yeah, I can't wait until I could put stealth parts in any ship and make that lower the amount of signature that I have in my ship. I want to be able to put military parts in and know that, everything's going to be firing on all cylinders. So I think that's a part of the gameplay that we just don't have yet. And now that we know there's going to be tiers on top of that, right? So like I might have all stealth parts, but they're like tier 1. So what happens when I get whatever the highest is, tier 3, tier 5? What happens when I get tier 5 stealth parts, right? Like those are going to be way better. And like I might not, if you have tier 5 stealth parts, those might be better than a ship that comes with a hull that has stealth in it already. So yeah, I think it's gonna get that type of gameplay is gonna get really deep, and I can't wait for it. All right, get those questions in. Shout out to the dual streamers. I see a few of you hopped on the dual stream. Much appreciated. What's up, Jordo? Could a stealth subcapital be for smuggling and therefore be opposing side to military branch? You can do a sub. I think the Retaliator kind of fits this. I just don't think that. I mean, the Retaliator doesn't come with like stealth parts or a stealth bonus, but I think in the future you'll be able to put those cargo modules on the Retaliator, and then because of its layout, I think it'll be a really good smuggling ship in general. And I think Paul would back me up on this from the info runners. I'm sorry, captain's chair, Paul. Captain's table, Paul. So yeah, I think the Retaliator is going to be a good smuggling ship, and I think once you're able to put stealth parts on it, it already has that kind of stealthy profile when it's like legs are up and everything, and it's in space, and you have it all black. So I could see that. Maybe it would just be a variant. Whatever we got would be a variant of that. Cause I think Retaliator is no. I think the Retaliator is a large. Is the Retaliator a large ship or a medium ship? Let me check that real quick. I don't remember if the Retaliator is large or not. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh. All right, make sure you're putting question in front of your question. Yeah, Astropub. I I got so used to calling him Paul now, I'm like forgetting. Yes, Astropub is who I was talking about when I mentioned Paul. Um, let's see. What is the length of the Retaliator? Oh no, the Retaliator is it's just shy of large. I think it's the largest medium ship. Well, no, because now we got the Starlancer Max and the Starlancer TAC, which I think those are bigger. So I think the Retaliator is the second largest medium ship, medium size ship. Anyway, shout out to the dual streamers. I see you. I see you. So for our prize this month, we are giving away a C8R, and that will be for Twitch, and then for YouTube, as always, we're giving away a skin. So make sure you are leaving comments on both if you're dual streaming, or this if you're lurking. Make sure you just leave those two comments a few minutes apart, so that you qualify for that. Also, in the next one, when I just do the winners, I think I'm gonna kind of just I'll do the last part of the randomizer, but I don't think I'm gonna go through the whole thing again because that took way too long last stream. Yes, for stealth, I do think it will be about lowering your heat signature. Well, all of your signatures, not just your heat signature. And I do think maybe they can. I think in the future they'll be able to like cause some type of interference with scanning tech, right? So like anything that would be able to use to scan or locate, I think they'll eventually be able to cause some type of interference with that, or at least make everything read it as lower than what it is. Your Intrepid is tier 1 stealth. Okay. The Zeus ST being stealth would be nice. You want a cargo variant of the Paladin? I mean, it's basically that's basically a Connie Taurus, isn't it? I mean, except without the cool, you know, turret that goes all the way down and underneath. Or, I mean, the Valkyrie. Except the Valkyrie doesn't have the size 5s. You can make a solid argument that the Valkyrie should have size 5s if the Paladin has size 5s, though. $75 more. I think you can make that argument. The Apollo, do I think it's coming out next year? I think it's coming out in 2025. I think that'll be out before CitizenCon. I think that'll be out before CitizenCon because I think medical and repair are the next two major, outside of base building. After base building, I think medical and repair are the two biggest things because I think engineering is going to lead into repair, and I think medical they just have to figure out before they launch Squadron 42. Is the Galaxy going to have a building module? Yes, it will. It's not coming for a very long time, though, so just be aware of that before you purchase one. Yeah, I do think the Apollo's coming out next year. I think, yeah, I do think that's coming out next year. Did I watch the base building Q&A yet? Yeah, no, I did watch it. I did watch it. I just I don't I took notes on it and everything, so I'll probably do a video on it. I don't know. But yeah, there was nothing new. It was all stuff that they talked about, maybe a little bit more explaining, but yeah, it's exactly what I expected. I do think base building will end up being the center. I think base building will end up being the center of the Star Citizen universe, and I don't think people are going to realize it until it's a little too late. But I think maybe people did, maybe because the Pioneer did sell out, but it sells out every year. So um, I do think base building is going to end up being like the center of everything, and then everything's just going to be rotating around it until we get the first few space stations, and then space stations will be the center of everything. So yeah, I can't wait to like show up at people's space stations, like not because I want beef or anything. I just want to show up and like look through and just like see what's going on in those things. Because my org, we probably won't be building a space station for a long, long time. we're trying to control the ground. We want to own land. We want to own like, there's plenty of space to go around. We always build a space station, but the land is finite. There's only so much of it in our available universe. What's up, Dante LS9? What's up, Uso Mad? Or Uso Mad, my bad. I saw Ubo's name. What's up, Jordan? What's up, Nardius? All right, where we at? My goal for the game is to run cargo for a larger org. Maybe they have a Discord job board looking for raw materials needing for org building. Think dedicated roles would be needed for orgs. I don't think you have to have a dedicated role in an org, but I do think you have to have like a top, like a primary, a secondary, and maybe even a tertiary, like a third role. And I think you should probably stick to those three when you're doing org related things. And if you want to go outside of, if you want to do non-org related things, you probably should go outside of that. So yeah, but I don't think you need to be dedicated. When do I think the Expanse will come out? Expanse is not necessary for base building, but I think when we start hearing more things about refinery gameplay, then I'll expect the Expanse. But until then, I would say it's at least a year and a half out. Will we get an Origin tank with the 600i rework? That would be awesome. What I'm hoping for is a rework of the G12 to make it a 3-person vehicle, or to make it as large as an Ursa so that it can carry more and just be as useful as an Ursa, because right now it's just a cool looking 2-person. It's like if you mix a Cyclone with the Ursa and somehow get something worse. That's what it looks like to me now. So I'm hoping for a rework on the G12, and I am hoping for another tank, like maybe a stealth tank. That's the only type of tank we don't have. That's the only type of vehicle we don't have. We don't have like a stealth vehicle. I could see Origin doing a stealth vehicle. You're going to pick up the build, but not sure if you care about bases yet. I probably wouldn't pick up a build until you're sure you care about it. I mean, but it'll probably be a good investment, though. Yep, 600i is supposed to be able to hold a tank. If they ever do the 600i rework. I don't think it's coming for a while. I would be surprised if it comes any earlier than like the end of next year. I think maybe around Christmas time we could get something like that. It might be a project for somebody onboarding or something. I don't know. 4.0 Open EPTU. I think it'll be Open EPTU next weekend. And I think it'll go live just before Christmas. With a few days for them to work on it. So I think it'll be like maybe the 17th or 18th it goes live, so they can fix whatever crazy bugs are going with it. And then I think they'll work on it just before Christmas break, like maybe up to that Friday. And then whatever bugs are still there by Friday, they're just going to leave them. And I think that's it. That's all we're going to get until the new year. Yeah, I don't think, and I think CIG might come back on the 6th of January. I'm not 100% sure though. All right, Twitch is back. Do I think there would be any other gameplay loops coming out that are completely not even mentioned yet? Oh, I don't think so. I think at CitizenCon they kind of mentioned everything because they wanted people to know. I think they're done with the like surprise a new gameplay loop. I think that ended at CitizenCon because they want everybody to know like this is what to expect from Star Citizen. Because I think that was the question is like, are we doing feature creep? And they want to get rid of that. They don't want people to still think that they're doing feature creep and that we're never going to have a defined version of what Star Citizen is. And I think they know that they have to start delivering. So I don't think there's any game modes in general or gameplay loops that aren't mentioned yet, like dedicated gameplay loops, but I do think there will be some metagaming that creates gameplay loops. Like I can imagine oh, so there's a way to show how long you've been a member. Okay, San Chimera, I know you've been a member. um, yeah, I just think the gameplay loops that come out are going to be more so based on like whatever the metagame becomes for people. Like what are people constantly doing over and over and over again? Should we make that a gameplay loop? Should we include that in and give you a prize for it or whatever? Stealth 500i? Oh my goodness. We need a 500i and we need a 700 series. Please. We need both. We need the 700 series to be around the $700 mark, like somewhere between the $600 to $700 mark. And it needs to be, it needs to come with that insurance. Give me a reason to get rid of the 600i if you're not going to give me my rework. We also don't have a 200 series, which I would love to know what that ends up looking like. We could also get a 900 series above 1,000, but maybe with a more dedicated role rather than luxury. Who knows? Missions are not working well for 4.0. New player experience is really rough. Yeah, that's what I expected. I mean, 4.0 is literally changing the game. It's server meshing. Folks, I'm going to tell you right now, if you expect 4.0 to be a very well-oiled machine, you're going to be in for a letdown. It's going to be really bad for the first 2, maybe 3 months. It's going to be bad. It'll be significantly better after the first 2 weeks, but then after that, or actually first 3 weeks because of Christmas break. But then after that, it will start to get better, but I just hope you're not going into it like, oh my God, it's ready. 4.0 will be good, but it will be buggy. Which loops won't make 1.0? Oh, I think they did a list of these already. I don't even know. I don't think there will be. I mean, base building will be in for sure. Medical will be in for sure because it's going to be required. Ooh, I don't know what won't make it. I would think everything would make it. I would think that's what 1.0 is. If a loop isn't ready, I don't think they're ready for 1.0. So I would assume all the loops make it into 1.0. Maybe loops they haven't thought of yet. Arthur Vandelay with another $8. Much appreciated. We might as well just say at this point we're sponsored by Arthur Vandelay. This segment is sponsored by Arthur Vandelay. Arthur Vandelay, send me something you want me to plug. Like, do you have like a something you want me to sell? Something family friendly though. uh, Make sure you put questions in front of your questions, folks, so I can pull them out. Let's see. How far off do you think actual alien interactions are? And do you think they will develop different sci-fi tech for alien ships? They've already kind of got some sci-fi tech for the alien ships, so that's a yes for sure. Alien interactions, I don't think we'll get till 1.0. I don't think we'll get that till 1.0 because I just don't think it's a priority for them. They want to get the game working, and then I think even 1.0 would be. Whew, I'm not 100% sure we'll even get that at 1.0. I think we'll get limited alien interactions at 1.0, not like full alien interactions. Do I expect CIG to sell base buildings for real money? I am a bit afraid that they will sell even more things when fundings are not that great until 1.0. So the funding thing, let's talk about that for a little bit. What's up, VDux? I think one of the things that I think what happens with Star Citizen, when you pay a lot of attention to it, it starts to kind of pull you out of the reality of the money that they're actually pulling in, because they didn't make as much, as far as I know, but December's still not over yet, so they still could. But they didn't make as much money from IAE, and then everybody was like, oh my God, a bunch of people were blackpilling basically, like, oh my goodness, like CIG is, they're losing everything. And it's like, no, that's not how businesses work. Of course they would love to make more money than last year and set another record, but every year can't be a record-breaking year unless you're like Apple or something, and you invent the iPhone or something. Now, I do think when this game launches, I think there'll be a number of record years, but yeah, you can't have a record year every year. What you expect is to be in the black every year, and you expect to make a profit every year. You expect to be doing, if you've already had record years, you just want to be doing as good as those years. You just don't want to be losing money. And CIG is nowhere near losing money. CIG is just fine. And if you don't believe me, tell me right now that CIG couldn't come out with a ship that was $1,000, call it an Anvil Capital, and basically give you 2 pictures of it, and tell me that thing wouldn't sell out immediately. It would. It absolutely would. With 2 pictures and barely any information about it, it would sell like hotcakes. So that's what I'm saying. They're not hurting for money. I think a lot of people think they are, but they really aren't. But when it comes to base buildings for real money, I think CIG will sell everything that they can that won't affect your ability to win the game. Now, ships, you can argue whether or not ships allow you to press the I win button. I won't argue that with you. There's people out there that will. I don't think it does, but that's just an opinion at this point. But base building, I think they're more likely to sell blueprints of, cosmetic things. Like, you get a blueprint for a paint to put on your ship, or a blueprint to put something in your house that's rare, that you can't, that's very difficult to find in the game. Building types or something. Maybe you get more unique buildings. They don't do anything different. They just look different, and you pay real money for those. So there's a lot of opportunities for merchandising and selling. For CIG, there's a lot of unopened doors as far as that. So CIG, as far as money, all MMOs, if you have a successful one, they do fine as far as money, trust me. If it's successful, you don't really have to worry about money anymore. All right, let's rapid fire some of these questions, because I think I'm way far back. Okay. Where are we at? Oh no, I'm not as far back as I thought. Okay. You don't think data running will make it to 1.0? I think so. Because I think 1.0 is very far away. I don't think we're getting 1.0 until like 2027, 2028. So with it being that far away, I think we'll have data running. Tier 0, tier 1. Well, they said no more tier 0, so it should be tier 1. Do I think CIG will stop selling CCUs or stop allowing war bond savings to stack after the release of 1.0? Ooh, that's a tough one. I think they'll stop selling them for old ships, and I think they'll only sell them for new ships. Because I do think when we get 1.0, all the prices of all the ships are going to go up. So I think a lot of these prices are going to go up. I think the in-game prices for ships are still going to go up, even from where they are now. I think I think everything's going to be much more expensive than it is now. You'd like to buy 3 pictures of this anvil caption. Yes, as we should. We should like and this is what I say about like when the way that they've created this game, they could create something completely new, like they did with the Atlas. The Atlas sold. They made what, $2 million on the Atlas? We didn't even know everything about it, and we were ready to just purchase it. And I just think the way that they've funded this game, if you understand how easy it is for CIG to make money, you would stop worrying about whether they can make money, because they can make hand over fist very easily. Like I've said in multiple streams, if they sold LTI tomorrow, they would make $50 million tomorrow. If they sold it tomorrow, they would make $50 million tomorrow. So trust me, there's still things that they can do to make a lot of money. A lot of tricks up the sleeve. How do you think gameplay loops for capital ships are going to be like when 1.0 launches and all these backers have their own capital ships without having the player base to crew them? I don't think it'll be as bad as people think, because most people who have capital ships have an alternative ship. That being said, when we get 1.0, you have to realize that not everybody's willing to spend thousands of dollars on ships. So there will be plenty of people to crew these ships. Now, we also talk about how often players actually want to be on someone else's ship rather than bring their own. But from my experience, if you have a cool enough ship, people want to get on it. There's been plenty of times where I have a cool ship, or even a ship that I think is cooler, and I still want to just get on somebody else's ship, because you don't always want to be on your own ship. Maybe you do in a lot of situations, but not always. So I do think that the ability to crew your ships I do think it'll be less difficult than people make it out to be, but I still think it will require some effort. So only low effort capital ship owners will not be able to crew their ships. And I don't think anybody should be buying capital ships unless you either belong to an org or you are planning on creating an org, because how are you consistently going to man that ship? You can't consistently man a capital ship with randos. You need some people that are consistent with you. So, yeah. Maybe you don't have to have an org. You could just have a lot of friends. Ooh, style guides for base building? I like that. So you brought up a good point, JCH. You said, I'm just worried something like the build won't be able to build hangars for huge ships like the BMM and the Polaris. Well, it can't. We already know that, because the only way you can get capital ships is if you build a space station. Only the Pioneer will be able to build space stations. Well, at least build the first part of the space station, which is what, the storage unit or supply unit. I can't remember what it's called. I think it was called the supply unit or something like that. And that's all that the Pioneer can build. And then once you get a space station, you can build capital ships. The BMM and the Polaris are both capitals. So you won't be able to build capital ships on land. You'll be able to build subcaps and everything below, but well, and we haven't even really confirmed that. All we know is large ships for sure. So yeah, I don't think you would be able to build those anyway with the build. I think you'd at least need a Pioneer, and even then, you can't build them with the Pioneer. You'd have to build a space station. Um, yeah, so I wouldn't be too worried about what the build is going to be able to do. I think the build is going to be the most prolific base builder. I think you won't see the Pioneer come out very often because people will be scared of it getting taken. Maybe more so in the safer areas. So the build will be out there putting in work. And um, I don't know if the build is coming anytime soon, but I would hope it is. Um, it's going to be interesting to have the Pioneer out and not the BLD. With the price increases of missiles, will we get missile manufacturing anytime soon? Soon? No, I don't think we'll get it anytime soon. I think they're increasing the price of missiles, and I think they're doing that just to keep people from being able to one-shot other people. I think they want people to focus more on the pew pew gameplay rather than the, you know, missile locked gameplay, and that's kind of what they're doing with the missile price increase. But also, they want you to really think before you use your missiles. There's so many people that just dumbfire their missiles and then reclaim their ship, get more missiles, dumbfire their missiles, and just keep replaying over and over again. Um, yeah, they want you to have to load out your ship, and that's kind of the way it should be. If you're going on this mission, you should be choosing the types of missiles you put on. You shouldn't really be getting free missiles unless that's part of your insurance, right? And that's what I was actually hoping they would do. It'd be like, well, if you have, you know, insurance on your ship, then you, and when it explodes and you claim it, then you get your missiles back. But if you don't have insurance, then you don't get your missiles back. So what do I think AI will be able to do and won't be able to do when it's in its peak? At its peak, it'll be indistinguishable from a player outside of the fact that it doesn't have a player name above its head. That's what I think. I think AI, considering where AI is now, before it's implemented completely into the game, yeah, I think at its peak, it'll be indistinguishable from a player. I think players do kind of weird things though. Like sometimes a player will stop and stare at you, or they'll, you know, wave or run backwards, and that's where, like, if you have a eagle eye, you'll be able to tell the difference. But they'll be mostly indistinguishable from players. Will we have the player base? Absolutely. There's 5,400,000, maybe it's 5,500,000 accounts out there. Now, if we account for all the people who have two, three, four, five accounts, and then we account for all the people who quit playing the game, but their number is still counted, and then we account for all the people who gave their friend that starter pack and they still haven't used it, we still would have somewhere about around a million plus active players that actually play the game and intend to continue playing the game. So even with just a million people, that's a lot of people. And the majority of those people will not own large ships. I've met so many people who just refuse to purchase a large ship. And I have met way more of those people than I have met people who own a Kraken. Than I have met people who own an Idris. I have met way more people that refuse to purchase large ships than people I have met that own those super large ships. I hope AI can buy stuff. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of empty player stores. I think so. I think they'll be able to buy stuff because they'll want NPCs to help shape the economy. So if Tony Zervich ever gets back on stage, which I hope next CitizenCon, I was hoping for this one, but I just don't think, I don't think Tony Z is being, I don't think he's going to be a forward-facing voice in the Star Citizen community moving forward. So, I mean, it just doesn't seem like it. It's been so long, but I hope I'm wrong and he's at, CitizenCon 2955. Yeah, I think the number one builder will be the build as well. Spot the NPCs by if they sprint everywhere or not. If CIG is smart enough, they'll make it to where the NPCs are sprinting around just like players. Introducing ADHD mechanics to NPCs. Yeah, I hear you, Flashpoint. Flashpoint says I do not refuse to buy a Kraken. I just cannot afford it. Don't worry about it, Flashpoint. You can hop on mine. I know a few people that have them, so don't worry about it. You can fly it even, because I don't care. It's got LTI, so you fly that thing, crash that thing, blow that thing up. This is another thing about having LTI. Like, do whatever, you know. Yeah, it'll cost me 1.7 million to get it back. Whatever. I don't care. I'll make that money eventually. I need you all to know, right? Like most of the time, when I hop in the game, I'm gonna be hopping in. I'm gonna be giving like 3 or 4 of my ships to people who want to use them, and then I'm gonna be hopping out of the game. Like I'm gonna hop in. Somebody's gonna be like, "Hey man, can I use your Phoenix? Yeah, here you go. Hey man, can I use your Pioneer? Yep, here you go." that's just give me, just make sure you either bring it back in one piece or bring me back money or something. Bring me back something. So yeah, don't worry about it. I got you. Like you want to borrow a ship, I got you. If I can log in and give you the ship, just meet me at Everest Harbor, etc. Thank you, Mad Catso, for the subscription. Much appreciated. What's up, Arcane? Shout out to the dual streamers. We got a lot of them dual streaming right now. If you can't dual stream, that's all good, but we always appreciate the dual stream. We are trying to build up our Twitch channel. Oh, I'm at 48 minutes. I better get through these questions. Let's see. Starlancer Max is the largest ship I've purchased, and I'm downsizing it to a Paladin. Okay, yeah, I respect it. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of people who are just like, I'm not buying those large ships. I'll be on somebody else's. I'll earn them in game. I respect it. Build over the galaxy? Yes and no. The build is a one-trick pony. It will be a base builder and nothing else. Maybe you can carry some cargo with it, but it's only going to be 128 SU of cargo, and it's going to cost a lot of money to run. So it's a one-trick pony, but it's just going to be better at that one trick than the Galaxy will be. The Galaxy, however, is not a one-trick pony, and by definition, it's got 4 or 5 tricks that it can do. You just got to pay extra money for it, and that's the problem. And I think the Galaxy will also cost more than the build, because I think the build will come in somewhere between 300 and 350, whereas the Galaxy is 380 before you even put a module on it. Do you see the Caterpillar picking up a base building module? No, it's too small. I don't think it'll get a base building module. I do think it'll get a manufacturing module. Like, it'll be able to create things, just not bases. Now, the ironclad or something like that, I could see doing some base building. I could see a third ironclad model that's centered around base building. Or maybe shipbuilding on the interior of it. So I think the Galaxy will actually have less stats when it comes to construction than the BLD. So the BLD is supposed to have 4 large drones. I think the Galaxy is going to end up with either 3 large drones and 1 medium, or two large drones and 2 medium drones. Just so it's not as good as the BLD. I think that's how that's going to work. Because the ship is going to be capable of construction, but they never said it was going to be the best at its size at construction. So, or maybe it'll have one of each. Maybe it'll have 1 XL, 1 large, 1 medium, and 1 small. Who knows? But I doubt it'll have an XL because I think they want to save that specifically for the Pioneer. So I think large is as big as you're going to get. Do I play any other games? Yes, I play tons of other games. Right now I'm running through my back catalog though. So right now I'm playing Kingdom of Amalur: Re-Reckoning. And what else? I'm starting Red Dead Redemption soon. I still haven't even played Ghost of Tsushima because I have a feeling that Ghost of Tsushima is going to become my favorite game. So I've been waiting to savor it on the PC. And now I have it, and I'm just like even waiting it even more. Because Baldur's Gate is also another game that I play, and that game is awesome. So, and that game has so many playthroughs. But I have a large backlog, and I really want to make it through my backlog. But I'm trying to be less consistent with my gameplay, as in like I'm trying to not just focus on one game until I beat one game, and trying to just play whatever I'm in the mood for, because I think at some point I made it like a job kind of, where I was like, oh, I have to beat this game before I play this game, and I have to beat this game before I play this game. But no, I don't have to do that. I can just play whatever I want, play it as long as I want, put it down, pick up something else. And I think that's just my brain telling me to do it in order. All right. Let's see what we got over here on Twitch. Playing Pillars of Eternity 2? I know what PoE is. Yeah. I have so many games in my backlog that that's just ridiculous. And I have a Steam Deck now, so I can do all of the old games. Yeah, I think they'll push it out. I don't know if it'll be a full week before Christmas, but definitely a few days before they go out for Christmas break, so that they can fix not all the game-breaking bugs, but a lot of them, so people can just play on Christmas break. But they could do that, or they could just make sure it's a super stable release before they even let it go live. So, who knows? Yeah, they said another record year, all they have to do is release the build. They still can. They can release the build when 4.0. They could just have a end of year ship sale and be like, all right, sell the build. They still haven't sold the Misk Fortune. They still haven't sold the Mirai Guardian. They still, like, you guys got to remember, they still got some tricks that they can pull out of their sleeve. Santa Claus isn't here yet. What's the best LTI token since the CSV is no longer available? It'd be the Intrepid. The Intrepid is currently the best LTI token. They had a weak beginning of this year too. Yeah, but they made up for it by the time they got to September, because September they were on pace for a record year in September. The Pioneer will not be able to be manned by one person. it will be stolen from you. Do you think the Pioneer can be one-manned, or do you think they'll add some interesting mechanics for the ship that'll make you think you need more crew members? Oh, you definitely need more crew members. I wouldn't even step inside of I wouldn't take my Pioneer out of where it's like docked unless I had at least 3 people on that ship. 3 people is that's not even a skeleton crew. I think you should have 5 people to even have a skeleton crew for that thing. Yeah. What's up, Hollywood Hogan? Much appreciation. Thanks for watching all the videos. I see a lot of you that go in and you watch a lot of the videos consistently and leave comments consistently, so I very much so appreciate that. Full Nelson said, don't cross the streams. Well, that's only if we're dealing with ghosts, and I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Let's see. Oh, I missed a question back here. Played any Elite Dangerous? No, I have not. There's certain games that I already know are off my list because the amount of time it would take for me to put into it, I would miss out on so many other games. So the game would have to be, it would have to be out of this world for me to hop into it. And I've heard good things about Elite Dangerous, but it's not Baldur's Gate 3 level stuff that I'm hearing, where it's like, there's people that I've heard that think Baldur's Gate 3 is like one of the greatest games they've ever played in their life. I don't hear a whole lot of people saying that about Elite Dangerous. It's like Witcher 3. I think there's people that are starting to recognize that about Cyberpunk because of all the changes they've made, but like it's kind of too little too late for me for Cyberpunk. The next one I think will be probably one of the greatest games ever made, but I just can't get back into the one that I already played it and beat it by the time they fixed it. Base building will be limited to the size of the building drone, so it depends on the size of the drone Galaxy gets. Yes, it will be. I think they'll get large. I don't think they'll get extra large. Oh. Do you think, oh yeah, I answered that one already. Have I tried Last Oasis? I have not. So Hollywood Hogan Heroes, you said Baldur's Gate 3 is your favorite game of all time. I have 3 questions. Have you played Witcher 3? Because I need to know that. Are you comparing this to Witcher 3? And oh, thank you, San Chimera, for the 2-month subscription. I appreciate you. If you didn't know, you get a free subscription with Prime. So go out and use those subscriptions for your favorite YouTube channel or your favorite Twitch channel, which I'm assuming it's me, you know, because who else is there? But no. Have you played Witcher 3, Hollywood Hogan Heroes? Have you played Witcher 3? Because Witcher 3 is in my top 5. I have to do like a top 5 of my favorite. And have you played was it Twilight Princess? Ocarina of Time. I got so many games in my head that could have been greatest of all time. Oh man. Zelda, like Legend of Zelda games are, whoo, they're up there. But yeah. Elden Ring. I have not played Ragnarok yet, but I beat God of War, the first one. I was waiting for Ragnarok to come to PC before I played it. Because I have a long back. Oh, we got a hype train. My bad. Almost missed it. We got a hype train, folks. Yeah, I have such a large backlog that I can wait for games to come out on PS5 and then shift over. I have a PS5 and I have an Xbox Series X. I don't have a preference. I might start shifting towards PlayStation because it looks like Xbox is going more games as a service. But I don't like PlayStation's practices. Like I don't like the fact that they sold the PlayStation 5 Pro at what was it, $800, and then after tax and after getting a disc drive and after getting a stand, it's like 900. Like that was ridiculous to me. Anyway, back to Star Citizen questions. Let's see. Could the Liberator be one-manned? I think it will be. Surprisingly, I do think it will be one-manned. I still don't think it'll be a good idea, but I think it'll be much more at its size, which I think will be subcap. I think it'll be more one-mannable than most other ships. I think it'll be like one step underneath where the Hercules is. Like the Hercules is easily one-manned, and I think right underneath that is where the Liberator will be as far as like ability to one-man it. We just hit an hour, folks, so get those questions in. I know the ad's about to start. Get them in. Let's see. If you can solo whatever ship you want, just don't expect to keep that ship for long. I'm not in the elite community because we say it's the best space sim. It might be. I don't know. It's definitely not Star Citizen right now. Star Citizen's not the best space sim. It's not even a space sim, as far as I'm concerned. It's got a long way to go before it reaches that. I just think in the end, it's not even going to be a question. Let's see. Helldivers 2. I forgot about that one. I didn't play Helldivers 2. I feel like I missed the boat on it. If only the PS5 Pro had LTI. Liberator not available for the release of 4.0. I still think they have to figure out ship storage on ships where it's external storage. Like you have like the Nomad, right? I think the Nomad is their test bed for how are we going to store other ships on other ships, right? But they're just doing it with vehicles because that's all you can really fit on the back of a Nomad right now. But I think that is the test case for that. And I think when they have enough data, that's when they'll start working on the Liberator. But just remember, the longer it takes for a ship to come out, generally the better the ship is going to be. So the fact that the Liberator is coming out after the Ironclad gives me hope. Because if the Liberator ends up being way better than it is, which I do think it'll end up being better than it currently is, I think the amount of cargo it can carry is going to grow, and I think the size of the pads on it are going to grow. I think it's going to end up with a medium pad on the top, a small pad on the front, and then the two internal pads will be vehicle pads. That's what I think is going to happen to it. I think it's going to grow enough for that to be a possibility. Yeah, sit on those CCU chains, folks. Don't let them go. Jade Empire. Oh, man. Taking it back to original Xbox. I don't think Ciri's gonna be the replacement for Geralt. I think it's gonna be another. If it is a woman, I think they should let you create a character. To be honest with you, that would be new. I think telling the story of Geralt, they mastered that, so I think they should just let you create a character and go that way. Let's see. Play Elden Ring. It's incredible. The story is incredible, especially if you like going around doing the details. It's not as difficult as everybody says unless you put it like if you make it that way. You can make Elden Ring more difficult. But you can do that with any game. I do not think the Liberator will stay at 2 crew. Is it 2 crew? I thought it was 4. Is it? That's, I don't, is that right? Oh yeah, it is. It's only got 2 beds, yeah. Let's see. CSVSM is still on concierge for $40 with the paint. Okay. They might have just taken it out of the regular sale. You got most of your CCUs done, Ubo? Okay. Oh, I didn't even know Elite Dangerous was that old. I thought it was a newer game. So there you have it. I thought it came out in, not newer, but I thought it came out in like 2017 or 2018. I didn't know it was like super old. That's crazy. I did not know that. Let's see. Since the Carrack is supposed to have drones, do you think they will be able to do some base building? No. I think there might be a module to allow it to do some small base building. I would see the Carrack as doing more base building stuff than something like the Caterpillar. But I would say it would probably be small to medium. I don't even think it would be able to do large base building. Because I do think they want ships to be purpose built. I think making ships have modules is just a way for them to not build other ships. So for instance, if we needed a capital class manufacturing ship, or a capital class, not manufacturing, a capital class, a different repair ship or something like that, they could take another ship and do a variant of it, and that's faster than if they were to try to create a whole new ship. And I think the similarities to the other ship, I think, are going to help people purchase it too. So yeah, they could always sell land claims again too and up the price of them. Wow, the first Elite was the first PC space sim. I had no idea. Wow. So, I when I was young, I didn't have a lot of money, so I didn't have a PC for like until I was like 20. I was my first actual computer that I owned. I was like 21. No, I was younger than that. I was like, I think I was 18 or 19. I was either 18 or 19 the first time I owned a computer. So like I did not know, I don't know the history past like when I owned it, except when I went back to check. But PC history for me started in like 2006. And then of course, like I knew about PCs before that. So I could probably go back to like 97 at best. And that's all the PC history I got. I mean, besides what I know about computers in general. But as far as PC gaming, you got 97 and above. 97 to now is all I know. I wish I knew back then. I would have saved so much money. Thank you, Highball511, for the subscription. We are past an hour, folks, so we are supposed to be getting ready to do our transition. We're supposed to be trying to find someone to raid, and it looks like who do we got? Who do we got? Who do we got? This person's playing. This person's playing. Let's do. Yeah, let's do Wuck Street 2377. All right, get your last questions in, folks, and I will speed through all the questions. Make sure you put question in front of it so I can pull it out of the chat, and then I'll speed through those, and then we will go raid. Well, let me say that again because I forgot Twitch was on. Twitch, you were on break. We're going to raid in a bit, so get your last few questions in before we raid. Yep, we're doing Wuxtree 2377 for the raid. All right, I'm going to speed through these questions. Let's see what we got. YouTube, what you got? Do I think there's a chance Knicks will release during Invictus 2025, seeing as CIG implied it's already mostly done? No. I think at earliest, if we saw Knicks, it would be CitizenCon, and I don't even think it would be CitizenCon because I think they would just talk about it at CitizenCon, and then it would release the next year or something. Tack and Perseus for Fleet Week. I like that. That makes sense. I would love to see the Perseus at Fleet Week. 890 jump is ship on ship. I don't know what that means. When is Fleet Week? It's in May. Encarta. Encarta sounds familiar. Was that Encyclopedia Encarta you're talking about? Or was that... I think you're talking about a game, and I just was like thinking of Encyclopedia Encarta. I remember my aunt having that on her computer, and I just would look through it because I didn't have anything else to do. Half-Life 2. I played Half-Life 2. I never beat it. I played both. I played Half-Life 1 and 2, and I played like the blue. There was like a whole bunch of like add-ons to Half-Life, and I played all of them and never beat a single one. I'm gonna set up shop in Terra. I am a Terra over Earth lover. If you ask me, where should the UEE be stationed? Terra, baby. I'm done with Earth. Earth is so last year, so last century. It's the final countdown. What profession do you think will make the most money starting 4.0? Depends on if the Orion is out. If the Orion is out, it's going to be mining. If the Orion is not out, it'll be salvage. Have you ever used HES voice pack for Star Citizen? I have not used it, and oh man, somebody sent me something to use it, and I completely forgot they sent it to me, and I forgot to set that up. But I have a whole lot of stuff that's not set up right now. My Tobii eye tracker I need to put back in because when I was just playing a few days ago, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What if the Starfarer carrier glitch is the external ship carrying trick? All right, what else? What else we got? Questions. Would Reliant Tana be a good exploration ship for a solo player? Nope, I'd go with the 315P or something that can carry cargo. Depends on what type of exploration you're trying to do. I like the 315P though. The 135C if you're going for super cheap. 300i. You need a ship that can go far. Cutter Rambler. Base Cutter can go decent. It's not super far, but the Cutter Rambler can go pretty far. I'm not the only one who looked through you Encarta for fun. Oh, I know that. All right, folks. I think we're going to call it, and we're going to raid over to Wuxtree 2377. Much appreciation, everybody, especially the dual streamers. I see that you were doing it, and yeah, I appreciate everybody for watching. This was a good stream. And yeah, go watch those. Go watch that 2-hour-long fleet reveal I did where I talked about my 35 ships. I think I got 35. 7 vehicles, 28 ships, something like that. Yeah, so Yeah. Shout out to everybody who watched. Much appreciation. Let's do this raid. Now, Wuck Street 2377 is intended for mature audiences, so let me just say that before we do our raid. But yeah, let's get that thing going. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you on the next one. Raid, 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 raid.